Kirov reporting.
Hello comrades. We don't usually make multiple league starter videos, but this time, it's different. So many things have changed since we published our previous video, it's completely insane. So, we just have to update it before the league starts. First up is the Warrior's Legacy. Well, this ring actually works with Flicker Strike, about 30 to 40% of the time, even against small enemies. But that's not all. GGG actually buffed it right after we released our previous video. In a nutshell, it will proc more often, in 3.26. This makes this ring new best in slot for every Flicker Strike build. It's kind of sad, actually, since we now have to sacrifice 20% attack speed. We still not 100% sure, but it's obvious that GGG also buffed new Berserker Ascendancy as well. And this is why we here, plan changed, we are gonna start with Berserker. Slayer is still great, non-stop leech, huge damage, and free endurance charges. It's still a tier S class for Flicker Strike. With Slayer, we can also swap to champion later on. But, this is not our way. Berserker is the new Flicker King, in terms of damage. So, what's going to happen with Flicker in 3.26? We still don't know the exact numbers, but it's about 30 to 50% more damage with Warrior's Legacy, and even more with Ancestral Fury. Which is quite crazy. And there's more. Thanks to 10 Frenzy Flicker, we now know that this copy we created, also affects our Frenzy Charge Sustain. So with just this mastery, and 20% quality, we can actually sustain enough Frenzy Charges. That means, we don't even need Terminus Est early on. We might have to use Frenzy, to get those first important Frenzy Charges. Or, we can just use swap technique, put shield with +2 minimum Frenzy Charges on a second slot, swap 2 times, and boom, we start our fight with 2 extra Frenzy Charges. It will open a lot of new options for our body armor. Of course, we can just use Bronze Lithe. This body armor is giga crazy for Flicker, since GGG changed the way damage scales in 3.25. About 35% more damage. Big. Hopefully, GGG didn't fix this interaction. And what do you think? There is more, and this one is actually stupid crazy. If we put Hydrosphere on top of the enemy, while using Warrior's Legacy, we basically deal double damage. It's obviously a bug, because Hydrosphere has 1 second cooldown, but for some reason, our clone can bypass this cooldown. And that's potentially doubled our damage, which is absolutely giga for Flicker. It's already goes viral, so they might fix it, before League starts. This interaction was in a game for so many years, and people never even test these things, that's the craziest part. But, even if they nerf it, it doesn't matter. We still have Warrior's Legacy, or Ancestral Fury. Unless GGG decided to fix those things as well. But what about leveling? We start with Ground Slam instead of Frost Blades, since GGG nerfed it in 3.26, for some reason. We also use Blood and Sand, for an extra 10% damage. Then, at level 12, we switch to Sunder, with Ruthless, and Chance to Bleed. At this point, we can use Herald of Ash and Herald of Purity. We can also use Intimidating Cry for free double damage. However, this is quite clunky, so at level 24, we can combine it with Auto Exertion, and Rallying Cry if we use Herald of Purity. Leveling with Sunder is extremely easy, especially after GGG rework War Cries. What about Ascendancy? We start with Crave the Slaughter. Having extra attack speed early on feels great. Then, we take Rite of Ruin. And third one should be Ancestral Fury, right before we finish the campaign. This is the most important Ascendancy for Flicker Strike. After we take it, we can switch to Terminus Est, but as we said before, it's not necessary. Since we can sustain enough Frenzy Charges even without this unique. Therefore, we can use whatever we want, but to be fair, Terminus Est is still the best cheap unique sword. So we might start with Terminus Est anyway. Also, if you want a written leveling guide, you will find it in the description. Thanks to a guy for helping me create it. So, that's it, the true final starter video. Hopefully GGG will keep all of those interactions in a game. And also, if you like this video, leave a like, or comment, or both. See ya in the next videos, comrades.
comrade.